20,000 Afghans to be welcomed to the UK in coming years, 5,000 before 2022. What's your thoughts?
Well, it's a good start. What's important in the days and weeks ahead is that we hold the government's feet to the fire on this for the detail. The devil is always in the detail. We had a similar announcement to do with the crisis in Syria. And unfortunately, what happened with that, however brilliantly it was implemented from case to case, the numbers always fell short. What I want to know more about now is what are we going to do about the tens of thousands of people who are desperately fleeing, who don't actually have time to sit around and wait and fill in a form and wait in a queue that doesn't exist. There's a bit of a mismatch there between the lofty and ambitious rhetoric that comes with a kind of big resettlement scheme like that and the actual reality on the ground, which is one of chaos and despair and desperation. And what I worry about is the people who will never make it into those sorts of schemes because they've already grabbed their kids in one hand and their wallet in the other, and they've made a run for it, which is what any of us would do in that situation.
It sounds a little bit ignorant of me to say this, but just following up on what you just said, how if you're fleeing for your life, if you're fearing for your life and you're trying to make your way to whatever sanctuary you can find across whatever border that may be trying to repel you, do you fill in a form?
I think that's a really good question to ask the government and to ask the Home Secretary. They've made it very difficult to respond compassionately and to respond appropriately to a crisis like this, because in recent years what we've had is decisions by government which have effectively created a two-tier system for asylum. So if you sit in a camp for maybe 10 years, at some point your number might come up, and that's what we call resettlement. The government will then handpick you from there, bring you to the UK on a plane, and resettle you in the UK. But if you're one of the vast majority of people who has no choice but to run, and you don't have time to sit there and wait, you don't have time or the ability to fill in a form, you're actually deemed unlawful by this government. And what we've seen over the last few years, particularly in the summer months with people arriving on the shores of Kent, is that people are detained for doing that despite actually eventually being recognised as refugees in the UK. And I worry about those people who will never be picked up by a resettlement scheme, but to whom we nonetheless owe that debt of protection, because we have a special responsibility in Afghanistan. We were a leading partner in the coalition that invaded and that then abandoned those people. And my heart breaks tonight hearing about the thousands of people who don't know what is going to happen tomorrow and who are just trying to get their kids and themselves out as quickly as possible.